Hello and welcome to my Pillars of Eternity Definitive Edition blind playthrough. Today we will have part number 30 and we will try to solve the secret of Durlang's battery. And the last episode we spent most of the time in the Galvinus workshop and then back into Stalwart trying to find a ghost or soul of a dwarf inhabitants so we could get something to or some clues to get inside the Drulag's battery. And we recruited also Devil of Karok, the new character or NPC, which is basically a rogue. So, as always, let's continue. So, our party is still either Durans, Zahua, and Maneha, and for a while being we replaced Devil of Karok or with Aloth, who is at the moment on some travel assignment. Mm, what we have done is to get to level 11 with my main character and few of the characters, and we will level up very soon with others as well. Mm, the soul of a dwarf which I was talking about is in two NPCs. One of them is this janitor and the second one is Tiena. And in Tiena it was a little bit dangerous. So the dangerous soul, so I think I will probably try to awaken Ovina. I have tried to find most of the characters here, but only found these two souls through soul reading.
Something I can do for you? Halfrick's got me straightening the rooms, but I'll help you if I can.
Awaken Gregor and remember your theft from the armory.
Who? I don't...
Her face goes slack and she looks for a second as if she's fallen asleep, but her eyelids flutter and after several seconds they open to slits.
Thief? I'm the captain of the guard. Best be careful where you sling an accusation like that.
Her words are slow and calculated. Relax, Gregor. I was hoping we could work together.
We're of one mind, then. However, I like to see offers on the table before I deal. What would you give me?
Look around. You're in no position to make demands.
I see.
Her expression flickers, but she otherwise hides her surprise.
You have me at a loss, and yet this is not a loss entirely.
She looks herself over, holding out her arms and feeling the fabric of her clothing. I need to reach Durgan's battery. The contact, please.
Hammers of Durgan, ring loud. May the anvil's deep music resound. Walls of the battery safeguard our works from marauder and wilder alike. Abidun's faithful travail by the forge, and the fires that brighten the ore. If anyone asks, you didn't hear it from me. Got that? Now.
Owina doubles over, sneezing hard enough to scatter dust across the floor. She looks back up at you, wiping at her watering eyes.
beg your pardon for going on so. I got carried away and...
She stops blinking.
What was that I said? About hammers and fires and...
Her eyes grow wide and round. You're awakened. You share the soul of a guard captain from Durgan's battery.
You must be joking. How could that happen?
His soul reincarnated whole within you. Sometimes awakenings result.
I can't be awakened. That means...
She takes a step back, covering her mouth with her hands.
Andres Tides, I'm stuck with him.
Her body goes rigid, every muscle tensing. She stands there, frozen in shock, until a sly look warms her eyes. The toe creeps down her shoulders and torso until at last she speaks again, her voice as smooth as oil.
It's not all bad, Owena. Way I see it, you and me can make some deals. To our mutual benefit.
She cranes her neck, taking in the dark room.
Deals? What do you want from me? For you, not from you. I'm thinking it's time we got a raise. I don't know about that. Havrick's a bit of a miser, he is.
Owena's anxious frown replaces Grigor's confident smirk.
Don't you worry about Havrick. I've got something else in mind.
Owena falls into a look of deep contemplation as she and Gregor continue in silent conference. I learned that Kantek from Gregor, a crook guard captain of Durgan's battery, whose soul lives in Owena. The awakening appears to be working a change on her already. The verses of the cantic are: hammers of Durgan ring loud, may the anvil's deep music resound. Walls of the battery are safeguard of works from marauder and the wild alike. Abaddon's faithful travail by the forge, and the fires that brighten the ore. And we got new stronghold quest. Since the end of the Saints' War, the Woodens have gathered at Avondur Bridge to commemorate the sacrifice of the dozen who gave their lives to defeat Saint Waidwen. It has become customary for priests of Magran leading the processional to sing a dirge to end the ceremony. This year, when the priest attempted to sing the dirge, his tongue swelled in his throat and he died painfully before the assembled crowd. When another priest attempted to sing the dirge a month later, he suffered the same fate. Some believe the gods are to blame for the priest's deaths, others suspect vengeful resurrections. Whoever is to blame, the priesthood of Magran and the soldiers of Godhammer Citadel want them brought to justice. So, I think this might be a good quest for a paladin. I'm ready to enter Durgan's battery. I have the relief fragment that the Leaden K expedition found and the contact that I learned in Stalwart. And we have 2 more NPCs to level up. So let's see Zahua first. Faster hits, faster move. model. Do we have some model stuff with him already or not?
Zawa is ready.
No, we're not. So that might be an option. Let's see everything else. This one is also interesting. That one is good. Yeah, this one, Iron Wheel, is the perfect for him. And Devil as well. Oh, not enough to level up mechanics more. So just 1.2 athletics, and let's see what they have to offer. Interesting. This one and this one is interesting. I think I take the Adept Evasion. So let's talk one more time to
Very well.
Marina.
Something you need, sir?
She looks at the space between her feet, but her posture changes, her chin rising and her shoulders rolling back as Gregor takes over.
Very good. Next time, tilt your head a little lower. Then you can get a look at his purse. We're just practicing, of course. Don't mind us.
Farewell.
Oh?
Oh, not good for her character. But unfortunately, that cannot be undone. Well, let's go right away into Durgan's battery. Oh no, we need one more NPC to visit. And that NPC is in Rassadwood. And then it again wanted to run away. So, let's check this grow first. I think the NPC was a woodcutter. It's him, Harmka. I remember that weak chin and those knobbly knees. She stops staring motionless at the figures among the tree. A weak chin and knobbly knees. Can't be too many people matching that description.
How goes?
The elven man emerges into the clearing and freezes, staring at the Devil of Karok. For an elf, he's tall and rangy, with a weather-beaten face beneath stringy, greasy hair. The others with him turn, glaring and gaping at the bronze golem.
Auroch's shadow! What's that wicked thing doing here?
Harmka swallows a lump bobbing in his neck. Why are you so nervous?
It's a killer! Look, we don't want no trouble. Just trying to do our work.
Beds of sweat have formed on his forehead despite the chilly air.
We'd be much obliged if you'd leave us be. And take that thing with you.
He looks at the devil with a mixture of terror and loathing. Enough! What do you see, Mamulian? Is that the man who torched us? The devil sways on her feet, her whole body moving around the axis of her ankles. Though she's talking to you, her attention, a concentrated spear of essence, is focused on Harmka. Who are you?
Just a woodcutter. Ask anyone in Stalwart. They'll tell you.
What are you dealing for? See what's written on the bastard's soul. Her essence boils and froth. Harmka, do you remember the village of Cold Morn?
Everyone does. Let the raid Sarens into the Deerwood. What's that got to do with anything?
I want answers, Mamulian. If he don't stop his mewling, so help me. I'll rip them out of his head myself. Read Harmka's soul. He steps away from you, but your awareness reaches through his trembling skin and the feeble resistance of his fear. You see memories, snow-shrouded forests partitioned by fallen pines and firs, days measured by the steady swing of your axe, the other moments too, and recollection that flare up like a heart's welcoming fire. There are children, spry and lanky like you, but still full of the rowdy energy of youth. Together, you scatter winterbloom petals on a grave. You reach deeper into Harmka's soul. Years roll back, a torch in your left hand bathes your face and shoulder in heat. All around you and other men and women holding other torches, and the mountain air is acrid with the stench of smoke and sweat. Rage billows of the others. It's been fever in your blood for days now, exhausting you and invigorating you in an equal measure. You're at the edge of that town, Cold Morn. It's hours yet before dawn, but the commotion has started to awaken the village. Candlelight ignites behind frost-crusted windows, and haunted faces peer you out at you through the glass. You begin to doubt yourself. Just then, a door slams. A villager comes racing through the streets, kicking up snow. With his stark white face and pale hair, he looks almost like a ghost. The line of torchbearers ripples as he gets closer. He picks up speed, but nobody moves toward him. You imagine him breaking through the row, shattering your ranks like the bad dream that brought you all here. You imagine waking up in your bed, the heat from your torch, nothing more than the warmth of your wife sleeping next to you. Instead, the villager reaches the row of torchbearers a stone's throw away from you. A woman advances from the line and buries her dagger in his neck. The rest of your fellows shout. Rage, memory, and bloodthirsty triumph boil up in you. You all came with a purpose. You came to bring justice to the traitors of Goldmorn. The next few hours are painted in colors more vivid than life. You put your torch to anything that stands and your sword to anyone who runs. It is as if Magran herself whispers in your ear and guides your hand. Exhaustion has almost cooled your rage when you spy a house at the edge of town, one of the only buildings that hasn't been already burned. It's flanked by knotty spruce trees, and the door is painted yellow. Yellow, the bloom of sunrise, the hue of your son's hair, the color of cowardice. Just then, someone barrels into you from behind. It's a man, someone you remember from the journey to Cold Morn, though you can't recall his name. He snarls at you, met with indiscriminating rage, and it occurs to you that he's mistaken you for one of the villagers. You smash the window and hurl your torch inside. The other man has turned away. You think you hear a child shriek within the house, but it's impossible to tell above the roar of the riot. Harm shivers as you pull away from his memory. His eyes are wide with guilt and fear. Spit it out, Mammalian. What did you see? Her feet are rooted in the snow, but her limbs jerk and jangle. It's not that simple. Don't give me that greasy horseshit. You looked into the squalid dregs of his soul. Tell me what you saw. She steps toward you, strangely clumsy. Heat patterns streak and flare across her body. The snow melts around her feet. He is not responsible for what happened to your family. But I remember him. How can you be sure? Her fists clank down onto her knees. Memory is fickle. You remember what you wish to recall. As she looks from Harmsk back to you, a despairing groan rises out of her throat. Questions bubble and burst in her essence. Finally, the heat patterns fade from her chest plate and her body surrenders its tension. What a waste. She watches a Harmka renounce and stumble away. As he disappears, she turns back, her joints rattling like empty pots and pans. I looked into Harm's soul and saw his reluctance to burn the devil of Karok's house. I dictated that he wasn't ultimately responsible and told her as much. She let him go.
Oh?
So, we decided to not punish him completely. We'll see how it goes. And I think it's probably good to go to the east of Stalwart as well. because of this bounty. And one more quest. Which one? Well, we'll see. Let's go. Oh, and you talk with the devil?
Almost 15 years I've been looking for him.
She stares ahead as you approach, the ink-black marbles of her eyes fixed on some distant point. Her essence swells and swirls in the throes of contemplation.
Now I'd rather we never cross tracks.
She shivers, metal rattling. But you have more certainty now. Surely, that's better.
I only know it weren't him that torched my house. Don't know that I'd call that certainty. Used to be I had something to hunger for. Stung at me night and day, but at least it were something.
She looks at her empty hands, the fingers split like a dead spider's legs.
Now there's nothing. Not even that burn of wanting something. Just that look on his face.
She shakes her head. What look?
Horror? Fear? No. More than that. After Cold Morn, folk used to leer at my burns, full of disgust. Or they'd realize who I was, and then it was the terror. Maybe hate.
She tilts her head to the side.
But this... the way Harmka looked at me. The way I've seen near everyone but you and Galvino look at me. All it did was remind me
Of what?
that this is a madman's fever dream. Like a prison, but no, 'cause in a prison, you lay your head down and you feel the straw soft beneath you. Your flesh prickling in the cold, black bread crumbling on your tongue.
She turns her arms in front of her, examining the scrollwork on the backs of her hands with horror and wonder. Your body has unique strengths and advantages too.
I'd trade 'em all if I could feel the snow cold around my ankles. I still dream I'm folk. I wake up some mornings wondering why I can't feel the floor beneath me, thinking I must have fallen and gone crippled. But then I lift my head, see a bronze corpse stretching out in front of me.
She lowers her head. A tremor runs through her. I'm sorry you have to go through that.
It's not pity I want, it's a choice.
She draws back from you.
I dreamed too of what Galvino did that night. Those moments. I'd endure another cold morn if it'd spare me this fate.
She rubs her hands together, tracing her even joints with her fingertips. What happened exactly?
Was after I got caught in Stalwart. They'd locked me in a little house by the inn, the old mayor and his cronies.
Her head dips as she remembers.
When a crowd of 'em came for me in the dark of night, I was only surprised it had taken 'em so long.
She hesitates.
Only they didn't march me to no gallows. No, they snuck me to another house on the edge of town, real sneaky-like. That's where I met Galvino.
She raises her head, her black eyes shining. What was he doing there?
He was fiddling with some machinery in his workshop. Had his sleeves rolled up, even though it was cold enough to see your breath. Never actually looked at me until he started fitting some copper helmet over my head. By that time, the mayor's goons had me trussed up good and tight. Galvino was having himself a grand time barking orders at that lot.
What did the mayor have to do with this?
He'd agreed to hand me over to Galvino for an experiment.
She waves her hands at the word metal flashing.
Claimed it was a fair punishment, but the townfolk weren't too pleased at being denied their stone pitching.
She crosses her arms, nodding.
Didn't help that they heard the jangle of copper in that deal. In the end, that's what sent Galvino and the old mayor packing.
I see.
So while Galvino's fastening that helmet over my head and them copper bands around my arms, I'm starting to look at his contraption. And that's when I see it.
Her black eyes are fixed on some indefinable point. Her essence dims.
It's this metal suit strapped into the machine just like me. A cold, dead-eyed thing, all done up with fancy carvings and such.
She shivers, her joints chittering. Did you know what they intended?
I had this terrible cold feeling in my gut, but I still couldn't figure.
She shakes her head.
I start asking Galvino and the rest of them what's going on, but they're too busy to answer. Then suddenly, they're waiting, staring at me with that fixed, horrified look, but they ain't watching me. They're watching for something to happen.
Her eyes flicker, rolling and scrubbing behind her face.
Galvino tells the woman nearest the machine to flip the handle. And then, just pain. Being torn apart every which way, feeling my soul peeled from my body.
Her limbs twitch and shudder. She pauses, waiting for her body to fall still.
By the time I came to, I couldn't feel a thing. Just this dull, distant sort of ache.
I heard the old man cackling and chattering. When I saw him looming over me, looking down at me with hungry eyes, I tried to scream, tried to swing at him.
Think that was when I knew.
She shakes her head and falls silent. Well, it's over now.
Don't much feel like it. The rest of Stalwart didn't take kindly to having a killer in their midst, nor to seeing their mayor and the Ornery Valians strike a secret deal. They drove Galvino out, destroyed a fortune in machinery, and wrote a letter to the Academy in Salona, ruining what was left of his name. Still, he's lucky he didn't get a pelting. The old mayor fled too, and Stalwart's been as snug and cheery as ever.
Now that we've dealt with Harmke, why have you stuck around?
You're better company than Galvino.
She says it in an offhand, teasing fashion, but she looks away from you, fidgeting with a rivet.
Been a while since I were out in the world. Guess I'm keen on seeing more of it, even if I'm stuck with a bleeding heart. Anyways, I've been wondering about that fortress.
She looks away again, flexing a wrist joint. About the secret of the dwarfs, perhaps? She's quite fixated on her squeaking joint.
Near everyone thinks it'll have just the thing they need.
She ticks a list off on her clicking fingers.
Those villagers wanted to fix up their brook downtown. Galvino always thought it carried some great secret of Animanson, and all them adventurers came looking for fancy gear.
What were you hoping to find?
I don't know. Something to help me feel, or forget. Effigy's eyes, maybe just something new.
The tips of her metal fingers clack together.
I just figured, with those dwarves being expert smiths and all, maybe they had something to unmake me, put me back into my body.
I doubt that's possible. Your body's decayed by now.
I know, it were just a passing fancy.
She turns away, her essence buzzing with agitation. I wanted to ask you about something. The black marbles of her eyes scrape against their sockets as she looks at you. That's all. Okay. Let's go to the east of Stalwart, Longwatch Falls.
Certainly.
Margaren's fire casts light in dark places.
We need to check this out. Oh. What's that? Let's see. Uh-oh.
Hey.
I hate the stuns. You stun him and you here. And the runs is down. Awesome.
Right here.
The stupid stuns and paralyzations. What's this? This tower looks like it was carved from the stone to the cliff of the cliff. The entrance is collapsed and sealed with ice, but you imagine that it commands an impressive view of the valley below.
Oh, and if I find something good, you can have half.
Oh, nice. Soulbound stuff. And it's for Wizard, Druid and Monk. I will probably give it to Hiravias when I recruit him. The cliffside plunges for 1,000 feet to the valley below. Stalwart is barely a speck amongst the trees in the distance. Oh, here is the cave. What was that? Gleaming Society list. That might be the bounty. Let's prepare for them a little bit. Unfortunately, I don't have my mage here. Nope. Oh.
Lava room.
Let's kick this monk first. And stun another monk.
Lava room.
Let's do this and let's yell. This might be good. And probably good idea.
None shall.
And let's do this. First down, okay. The next one will be this. And go stun Omar if you have. Stun, 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 stun. Priest. Okay, another one down. And I'll sing one more stun to this disciple. No. Knock down this disciple and use stun Omar. Good. Knock down the priest again. Oh, we have another stun.
Hey.
Perfect.
Silence surrounds me.
Find rots, hide armor. The Gleaming Society. Yes, it was that. Ulmer has been slain. I can return his head to Teldor for a reward. Oh, we have completed one quest from Stronghold. Since the end of the Saints' War, the Woodans have gathered at Avondur Bridge to commemorate the sacrifice of the dozen who gave their lives to defeat Sandwade when it has become customary for priests of Magran leading the procession now to sing a dirge to end the ceremony. This year, when the priest attempted to singe the dirge, his tongue swelled in his throat and he died painfully before the assembled crowd. When another priest attempted to sing dirge a month later, he suffered the same fate. Some believe the gods are to blame for the priest's death, others suspect vengeful threats. Whoever is to blame, the priesthood of Magran and the soldiers of Gothamer Citadel want them brought to justice. The violent death of two Magranite priests at Avondur Bridge generated grave outrage at Godhammer Citadel. It did not take long for Palagina to discover that radical Red Serans were responsible. Two wizards had placed the curses that killed the priest, but they were backed by dozens of Red Seran veterans from the Saints' War. As the wizards had no interest in negotiating with Palagina or Magranites, a battle erupted. Much of it turned over the same fields that saw combat during the war. In the end, the wizards were killed and the remaining Red Serans were routed. The priests that died in the initial attack were buried near the bridge, and the ceremonial gloves of the senior priest were given to Palagina in thanks. Celebrant's gloves. Concentration and will. Interesting. Fine. Let's see. Perfect. What kind of boots? +2 unarmed damage. Awesome. Awesome. Exceptional padded armor. And hide armor. Just 3. Let's quick save just in case. And level up Maneha. Herda Fury is exactly what I need. Let's go here first.
Hmm?
Oh, go
Hey.
to the side. And they're down.
Certainly.
Let's see what we got.
What a pull. So... let's stun him.
Yes?
Good. Mana... You go and stun him.
Yeah.
Oh, and if I find something good, you can have half.
Certainly.
Oh, still some.
Let us end this.
Yourself. Where the hell are you going? This brazier looks large enough to have held a signal fire once. And we have Ice Troll here. So let's attack him right away.
Yes.
Before he surprises us. What a glitch.
I will walk unseen.
This brazier looks large enough to have held a signal fire once. Fine, and money. Another ice troll. Oh, hell. What's this? No, stun the priest. Let's daze them all. No, let's go here, you go here. And you. Oh, full. So let's disintegrate him.
And what does the flame reveal?
Certainly.
Okay, let's go here.
Not a sound.
And quick save just in case. Oh. Water trickles down glistening pillars and spears of ice. A few rocks peek out from between them. Okay. Oh, not another brood mother.
Right here.
Where you are? You go attack him. Let's try this and you go. For fuck's sake. No, she is down, so let's try to. Bubble yourself. And you knock down him. Let's. This one is again bad. Oh no, this needs reload. This is really bad. And try to pull them over the bridge. Maybe that would be safer. So let's prepare ambush.
Right here.
I'm here.
Zawa is ready.
Yes?
Hey. All right, then.
Oh, the brood mother is the first one already. Let's try to knock her before she casts anything, and...
What?
Maybe use this and This looks much better.
No murder like this.
Let's stun. No. It's Ice Blast, so no, just stun him. Brood Mother is down. Good. And away by one. And now cast disintegration on him. It's immune. Boohoo.
What?
Heal.
This thing is...
Zawa is ready.
That did.
Heal. Heal and heal. Such a hard fight became so trivial when you place your NPCs correctly.
I'll keep an eye out.
To whispers and shadows.
Nothing hidden here. Too bad. So let's go back here. And up the hill for the first time. At first.
Good thing I'm freshly greased.
Ah. A camp.
You gotta see this. If you say so.
No.
Oh?
Let's go here and you try to trigger it.
Of course. That's not nice.
Oh,
Lead the way.
you need lockpicks.
Right here. If you say so.
You cannot disarm the trap? What the hell?
Hey,
Hmm? Hmm? Certainly.
Uh-huh.
Hmm?
I can get it to spill its secrets.
Uh-huh.
Eight days, 9 days. Oh, it's not a trap. Okay.
O.
It's
Hey.
for opening the...
That's not nice.
He's still alive? Yes.
Right here, if you say so.
That was not for trap, but for opening the chest.
That'll do.
That's it?
Certainly. Shh. O.
Nothing else here?
Yes.
Let's go here.
And what does the flame reveal?
That doesn't sound nice. What is this? Wraith. Let's quick save. I already got kicked as kicked once.
That ain't gonna work.
I'll go here. Let's see.
Thing isn't doing the job.
What the hell was that?
Yes. Yes.
Awesome. In chain stunning, the priest is always the thing I really love. Bother yourself. Stun him. Minion. Kick his ass and you go kill his scepter. Scepters. Good.
Let's see what we got.
Nothing here. These panels have been worn smooth. In one, you can just detect the shape of a sword, and in another, the stocky body of a dwarf. You trace fading outline and shapes in these panels. It looks like they were once a sequence of reliefs, but the images have worn away. Let's try this out. Behind a frigid curtain of water is an alcove. Its walls flecked with ice. In the middle you see a rough stone pedestal, also gazed with eyes from the falls. A cruciform hilt and tapered blade protrude from the pedestal. Judging from the size of the hilt and the apparent length of the blade, you infer that it is an estoc. Examine the area. The alcove and the stone pedestal are little more than dilapidated ruins. Ice prize cracks in the stone and coats the slick floor. The estoc, what little of it you can see, appears to be in better condition. It seems odd that anyone would leave it here. However, as you get close to it, you hear what sound like screams and shout of tormented souls. Move to pull the weapon from the stone. Who will go? Let's try Manea. Manea crosses under the falls, gasping beneath the cold water, shivering breath echoing in the small chamber. Patterns of falling water flicker across the blade as Manea approaches it. Manea grips the hilt. The hate, fear, and violence of those unmet, gibbering voices fills Maneha's mind. Maneha shudders through a wave of mental pain, struggling to hold the voices back. Grunts and cries of agony ring through the tiny space. Keep holding on. Maneha maintains a tight grip on the sword and shaking with effort. Eventually, Maneha regains a measure of focus through the clamoring voices. Just as Maneha's breathing steadies and the cacophony subsides, something pulls Maneha's arms forward. It suddenly looks as if Maneha is holding a heavy and painful burden. Maneha could probably put the estoc free, but it will be taxing without careful effort. Inspect the blade. The blade is of a fine sturdy steel. It seems odd that someone would have left it in this stone, but Maneha doesn't see anything remarkable about it other than its high quality. Braced against the pedestal to put this stock out. Let's see. Maneha climbs on top of the pedestal and adopts a wide stance for better leverage. Draw the estoc from the stone. After working the estoc, Maneha is able to pull it free without too much difficulty. Yet, when Maneha tries to release the weapon, it remains stuck in Maneha's fingers. Something within the weapon grasps at Maneha's soul, binding to it. Some kind of writing glows from the blade. The Grey Sleeper. Bound to Maneha. This estoc is a smooth, sturdy blade that tapers to a needle-sharp point. The groans of the dozen soldier souls ring from the metal binding the weapons of the hand of its wielder for so long as the curse persists. A few verses are etched along the blade. This traitor's fate to sleep and never rest. Will's knowledge of his deed stay lodged within his breast, but earnest penance heals the sorrowful man, and worthy actions stay the executioner's hand. A new verse appeared when the blade was drawn from its pedestal. It reads, "Seek the whirling agent made of copper, Adra stone. Awaken first your essence to say so that you may atone." Let's see what quest is that. No, she cannot change weapons. Was it the Grey Sleeper? I think this is the first step in removing the cores, so we need to find whirling agent made of copper, adra and stone.
Yes?
That will be fun.
Certainly.
Let's go here near the no, let's not. We can sleep a little bit later, so let's go down the slope.
Silence surrounds me.
And see if we can find anything which helps get rid of the curse of the sword.
Certainly.
Let's see what we have here.
Yes?
Ice Blight. Another Ice Blight. Oh, fuck. A dragon. No. Let's get away here as fast as possible. And come here. A few levels later. Bone strip of flesh and gut with tooth marks are piled beneath the snow. Let's get away. Let's get away.
Andres tides. Durance, you crack me up.
There's no joke to be had, Amawa. Only the observations of a humble missionary.
Oh, tell me the one about Magrin again. I love that joke.
Simply because I have business with that whore does not mean I care to discuss it.
How do you make your face get so red?
Okay, so let's check the Grey Sleeper. I found an nest in a mysterious stone pedestal near Longwatch Falls. Upon removing it, I realized that the weapon is cursed and soulbound. It tethers itself to the wielder.
Right here.
That's all.
Yes?
Zawa is ready. What do you need of Zawa?
Let's keep moving.
Oh?
What?
Let's go back to Stalwart Village.
I'm not tired.
Elos traveled to Gaida's lab and promptly knocked her out. He then ransacked the laboratory, retrieving all of Gaida's research.
Certainly.
Okay, let's try to speak with some people at the Stalwart if they can tell me something about the weapon. I'll start with Iduran. Iduran's ears perk up hopefully. Have you come to trade? Forever. Let's go to inn. Or maybe to talk to Mayor first. Whatever. Oh, the bounty. I'm still looking for someone to take care of those dangerous folk roaming the area, if you're up to it. The Gleaming Society is no more. Plenty of folk will be happy to hear it. Last thing we need out here is another big war. Take this. He gives you a bag of coin. I've heard some new reports of dangerous folk about. Perhaps you'd be interested in going after them too. I'm interested in new bounties you mentioned. That would be the Disciple of the True Flame and the Old Dunnery Hunting Lodge. He shakes his head. Those others you handled are lambs by comparison. Tell me more about the Disciples of the True Flame. He scratched the back of his neck. I didn't know what to make of this one, but word is, it's a group of dragon cultists. He holds up his hands. I know it sounds bizarre. I didn't believe it myself until I heard they'd torched an outpost north of Maiden Falls for cleaning a nest of worms, they said. Last I heard, they made camp near Longwatch Falls. They shouldn't be hard to spot. What's the Old Dunnery Hunting Lodge? He shakes his head. Adrians with too much time and money. They travel around hunting monsters for sport. But they leave a mess of wrecked property and dead bodies. Kith, I mean, in their wake. They've been charged with murder and general mischief in Defiance Bay, New Omar, and a dozen other towns in between. Someone saw them running in the Russet Woods, so you might look for them there. Let's talk about something else. What do you want to know about? Leave. The Gleaming Society. A group of radicals calling themselves Gleaming Society. Blah blah blah. I climbed the bounty on Ulmar. Ulmar has been slain. I can return his head to Cthulhu for a reward. Disciples of the True Flame. A bounty has been placed on a man known as Firedorn. He was last spotted setting up camp in the wilds along Longwatch Falls. Firedorn and his disciples of the True Flame have been murdering anyone who dares to hunt the dragons and their kin. Someone has requested that his senseless violence come to an end. Bounty Lenric. Lenric, leader of the old Dunrid hunting lodge, is wanted dead. Though he and his group ostensibly hunt animals and monsters for sport, they have a habit of leaving that innocence in their wake. Lenric and the rest of the old Dunrid hunting lodge were last seen in the Russet Wood.
Yes?
Neo.
Hey there. Let me know if you need anything.
I'll be going.
Take care.
Any luck with Durgan's battery?
Nope,
Certainly.
Something else you need?
for a while. Let's check the task again. Find a whirling agent of copper, adra, and stone. No clue.
When did Durance get bird legs?
Let's go check this one first and then to the inn. And then probably call it a day if no one will give a clue about this quest. It's getting a little bit too late.
It's nice to sit by the fire again.
Welcome. What can we do for you?
For a while.
Hello, sir. Anything I can do for you?
Back to warm your hands, eh? What can I do for you?
In the lugger room.
Top quality bear pelts on every bed. You won't be disappointed.
Okay. So that will be it for today. It's getting a little bit late, so again, thank you for watching and enjoy the rest of your day. Also, if you enjoyed my playthrough, feel free to follow me on Twitch and subscribe to my YouTube channel. See you soon!